Good evening, I'm Prasad. How is my keluarga Malaysia doing? I won't lie, I like the sound of that term, but words alone don't mean anything. Perhaps this is why Ismail Sabri Yaakob has incorporated it into the 12th Malaysia Plan.
The 12th Malaysia Plan was tabled in the Dewan Rakyat today. Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob said 400 billion ringgit will be allocated for existing and new development projects.
Kita mahu memacu keluarga Malaysia ke arah negara maju dan berpendapatan tinggi serta kalis cabaran pada masa hadapan. Namun, pencapaian ini tidak bermakna jika masih ada yang terpinggir daripada arus pembangunan. Kita mahu hidup bahagia bersama-sama.
Through this, the government will look to hit several targets. Among them, a targeted growth for the gross domestic product of between 4.5 and 5.5% a year in the 5-year period of the 12th Malaysia Plan. An average household income of 10,000 ringgit a month by 2025, a narrowed gap between the GDPs of Peninsular Malaysia and Sabah and Sarawak, and the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Ismail Sabri described the plan as a holistic one and said it will focus on 9 main areas, namely resetting the economy, restoring growth momentum, improving the well-being of the Malaysian family, strengthening security and public defence, eradicating poverty and closing the income gap, empowering Bumiputra and the Malaysian family agenda, enhancing socio-economic development in Sabah and Sarawak, advancing green growth, and finally, increasing efficiency of public services and effective policy implementation.
The Toyota Alphard may look like a fridge on wheels, but there's nothing cool about the behaviour you're about to see. The police have initiated an investigation into a Toyota Alphard belonging to a deputy minister after a video surfaced yesterday, allegedly showing the vehicle breaking traffic rules. Kelantan Traffic Investigation and Enforcement Department Chief Suhaimi Jusoh confirmed that a police report was lodged over the incident. He said the case is being investigated under Section 41(1) of the Road Transport Act 1987. According to him, the video that has now gone viral on social media showed the vehicle with the registration number P45 overtaking traffic over double lines, even blocking vehicles coming from the opposite direction. He said the incident occurred along Jalan Bukit Marak, Binjai, Kota Baru. Previously, it was understood that the video was recorded by a fellow road user who happened to spot the incident. The video, bearing the TikTok watermark, has since been uploaded on various social media platforms. The 38-second video also attracted fierce criticism from netizens over the driver's utter disregard for traffic rules. Don't you just hate it when the people, the taxpayers paid to fight corruption, end up causing more problems? Here's a tale of 3 MACC officers detained over the alleged theft of millions from a case.
An MACC officer described as problematic and untouchable due to his connections was arrested in connection with the alleged theft of 25 million ringgit. According to sources, including a former senior officer familiar with the matter, described the suspect as known to be problematic and was even nicknamed Blue Eye Boy Bandit. The suspect was among 3 officers arrested by MACC after former Malaysian External Intelligence Organisation Director General Hassana Abdul Hamid lodged a report that a large sum of cash, which the Commission seized when investigating her in 2018, had gone missing. Malaysia Kini learned that the 3 suspects were part of a special investigation unit that handled Hassana's case. The sources claimed that one of the suspects was also investigated over a separate matter prior to this incident, but declined to reveal details. According to them, the officer was untouchable due to his connections. One source also said that this is only the tip of the iceberg, adding that a police investigation into the latest case could open a can of worms. Another source, a retired MACC officer, said he was sad to see the graftbusters named smeared like this after they had worked hard to build the MACC's image with sweat and tears. The former officer also echoed the criticism against MACC for failing to report the alleged theft to the police, as it fell under the latter's jurisdiction. KiniTV is withholding the names of the 3 suspects in line with the practice of not naming an accused until the person is charged, except under special circumstances.
What is that saying? Oh yes, keep your friends close and keep Amna closer.
Muhyiddin Yassin has been told to stop counting on the possibility that UMNO will work with Bersatu in the 15 January election. According to UMNO Veterans Club Secretary General Mustafa Yaakob, UMNO is ready for the possibility of a clash with Bersatu. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, he also said UMNO has decided to sever ties come GE15, so Bersatu must be prepared to face it, and only the best will win. Mustafa was responding to a Bersatu leader who said his party would not be affected should there be a clash between ruling parties. He pointed out that such a remark coming from a Bersatu leader only proved that UMNO's splinter party still has hope in working with UMNO. With that, he said, the UMNO veterans wish to remind Muhyiddin that it is clear that the UMNO Annual Assembly rejected Bersatu. He said, Muhyiddin's confusion shows that Bersatu is not capable of facing UMNO in the next polls. Mustafa also claimed that Bersatu will not be able to mobilise its election machinery during an election. Yesterday, Bersatu Information Chief Wan Saiful Wan Jan hinted that Perikatan Nasional or PN would not be affected should there be a multi-corner fights between parties from the coalition in the next elections. He said this is because PN continues to cooperate with existing allies despite not knowing if UMNO will stand together with PN in the upcoming election.
Nama saya Suhaimi binti Abdullah. Anak saya, Saswani binti Besu, umur 19 tahun. Dia ada penyakit kencing manis. Baru sebulan tu. Lepas 2 minggu dia rasa mata dia boleh nampak sikit lah. Mungkin gula dia ada kawal dendam. Mata dia boleh nampak, kalau gula tinggi dia macam kabur sikit. Dulu dia insulin kan. Ubat dia kita kena 14 unit, 12 unit. Sekarang ni kalau injek 8 unit, ada 9 unit, ada 10 unit. Kita kira makanan dia macam mana. Dia minum Jusoh tak injek banyak.
Selangor has gone from the state with the highest number of COVID-19 infections to reporting less than 8,000 cases.
Malaysia reported 10,959 new COVID-19 cases today. Selangor, which reported a high of over 8,000 new cases a day on August 6, reported below 1,000 new cases today. This is the first time the state has reported below 1,000 cases since May 4th. As of yesterday, the R0 for the country was 0.92. A R0 of less than 1.0 suggests that the spread of COVID-19 was decelerating. It has been less than 1.0 since September 1st. The only state that has an R0 of more than 1.0 is Pahang. Meanwhile, veteran DAP leader Lim Kit Siang praised Health Minister Kari Jamaluddin as the number of new cases declined. The Iskandar Puteri MP said, all Malaysians want Kari to succeed in winning the war against the COVID-19 pandemic, which poses an existential threat to Malaysia. In a separate development, the government is considering a new controlled price on the COVID-19 self-test kits earlier than expected. Deputy Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Rosul Wahid added that by beginning of October, the self-test kits will also be available at supermarkets and convenience stores.
And in our next story, a former PKR MP is suing a current PKR MP.
Former Deputy Federal Territories Minister Edmund Santara is suing Batu MP P. Prabhakaran for defamation. This is over allegations linked to the former PKR lawmaker's temporary stay in New Zealand. Santara, through a law firm, filed the writ of summons at the Kuala Lumpur High Court on June 23rd over statements made by Prabhakaran during press conferences on March 17 and May 28. On March 17, Prabhakaran issued statements seeking, among others, for the New Zealand government to extradite the then Deputy Minister to Malaysia if the latter is found to have broken local laws. The PKR lawmaker had also wanted an explanation of why Santara, who is currently a Bersatu member, could enter and remain in the country for an extended time. Santara previously said he had underwent quarantine in New Zealand on December 24th last year and had managed to obtain 55 days of leave from Putrajaya to visit family members there. He returned to Malaysia later in March this year. Later, on May 28th, Prabhakaran revealed Santara's letter of demand against him, describing it as an attempt to bully, pressure and instill fear in the PKR lawmaker. According to a copy of the lawsuit's statement of claim, Santara claimed that Prabhakaran's statement, made during both press conferences, was slanderous and libelous, purportedly issued with malicious intent. The former Deputy Minister is seeking damages and for a statement of apology and retraction to be published in 3 local newspapers as well as uploaded on Prabhakaran's social media accounts. Meanwhile, through a statement of defence, filed on September 8th, Prabhakaran raised the defence of justification and fair comment for the public interest, among others. The PKR lawmaker contended that his statements are in line with his duty as a parliamentarian to raise issues that affect the people.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching.